All right, hey guys, we are here with Mary. She has been so amazing in allowing me to interview her and just kind of get to know her a little bit. So I'm so thankful for that. We are actually at the beautiful Roots Garden Center here in Billings, drinking our wonderful warm cups of Java. Mine's tea. What'd you get?
I got a vanilla latte.
Yep. Oh man. As the snow is falling, I think we're at like a foot now. And I was just telling her how I almost didn't make it out of my driveway because my kids have been shoveling snow right where my back tire needs to go. So
Keeps you in place.
Right? So, okay, well, we're gonna start out with the lightning round, just a bunch of questions real fast, so you can kind of get to know Mary real quick, and then we'll move on to, other questions that are gonna be wonderful in learning, about how us as adults, as our busy lives, how we just become different all the time. So,
Sounds
all right,
good.
ready?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
All right, what are you good at?
Cooking.
Cooking, awesome. What are you bad at?
Organizing.
Huh, I've seen your house. You're not bad at organizing. Nah, I don't know about that one. What makes you tired?
Repetitive tasks.
Ooh.
Like doing the same thing over and over again.
Mine is repeating myself to my kids.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the repeat part.
Yeah. Okay. What's the most important thing in your life?
My family right now.
Your family.
Yep.
All right. What do you do to relax?
I bike.
Okay.
Stationary bike, like.
Okay. Yeah. So do you have
Biking
like
in
a
place.
cool, do you have the Pelican
I do have
bike?
the Peloton bike, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I've only gotten on one of those once, but those are nice.
Yeah. I used to leave the house to do that, but now it's, at home.
Nice.
It's a good way to relax.
Yep. All right. When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A doctor.
A doctor?
Yes.
Okay.
A pediatric neurosurgeon. I believe was the ultimate goal.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have never met a pediatric neurosurgeon. What drew you to that?
I think my sister had neurological issues after birth,
Yeah.
so I think that was part of it. And
So
I think people told me it was hard, and so
Yeah.
I needed to go for whatever sounded hard.
Yeah. No, that sounds awesome. I kind of made it. I have to tell my little quick story. I took one of those personality tests in high school where they're like, "Oh, this is what you should do."
Yeah.
It put me as a janitor. So now I'm cleaning, houses, but in two different states. So there's that. So
So the dream version of that.
right. Okay, so what's your dream job?
I would love to be a playground designer. I think a accessible playground
cool.
architect would be
that
really
is
sweet.
So cool. I like that idea. Awesome.
I met someone once who does that. At a wedding, asking similar questions. And I was like, oh, that's really your job. That's really cool.
That is cool. I think I actually have met a playground designer back in Wichita, Kansas. But they just did the regular outdoor ones. You know, just the regular wooden and
Right.
so yeah. All right. What is the best change you've made in 2022?
I think getting help with the house, honestly. Having somebody come in and clean has been a really good change. We've had a lot of changes, and that's just been a really good grounding. Being able to put that as a done thing is big.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I mean, you won. I mean, after that question, I can just log off, and I'm like, see, all right, we've got the resounding. Hey, everybody, needs a housekeeper.
But for real.
So, okay, all right. Sorry if you could hear me slurping my chai tea. I do apologize. So, it's just too warm and too wonderful not to.
Yep.
All right. So, if you and your family had to create a list of 4 core values, what would they be?
Generosity, compassion, togetherness, and helping. I think that you know, that we always talk about, Chandlers are helpers.
Yeah.
So.
No, I love those core values. Those are great.
Yeah.
See, like my business core values are different than like my personal core values, which honestly I'd like them to like be the same. But so I always hire based on four core values. It's have fun, make money, be real, help out.
I like it.
And those core values, you know, those are amazing for that. But when you like think about personal core values, like I really love the generosity and the togetherness, and those are really great. I love those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try to talk about them as much as you can with like 3 and 6 year olds.
Yeah. Okay. All right. How have you grown or changed in the last year?
Lots of change in the last year.
Okay.
I think growing or changing in the last year, kind of settling into what our new norm is. We've moved a lot for Chris's training and jobs, and so now it's like, okay, this is where we are. I'm just kind of trying to ground in that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. How do you overcome limiting and negative thinking patterns? Like this is a big one with everything going on with, you know, mental health awareness and all of that. And honestly, it all stems into that negative thinking pattern. So how do you tend to overcome that?
I try to like identify when I'm falling into those and challenge it. Just the like, especially for me, I fall into a lot of that all or nothing thinking. And so trying to remind myself if I'm thinking something that's a always or never, I probably need to balance that out.
Yeah.
And like challenge the thought.
No, that's amazing. Like challenging it is exactly what like you need to do is like, with mine, like when I do that, it's like, okay, is this a positive or negative thought? You know, and in that same positive or negative thinking, you're just like, okay, where do I go from there? You know? So yeah. Okay. How does changing your environment change your life?
It makes it like frees up so much mental space. I think having an environment that's ordered and clean and together, like, and knowing that someone's going to help me with that on a somewhat systematic basis makes it so the rest of the time I'm not like constantly thinking, where can I fit that in?
So it's not so much the work that's getting done. You feel like your headspace
It's
is
the
changed.
headspace. Oh yeah.
Really? Okay.
Because I'd figure out how to get the work done, but it was like a constant, just like looming, how am I going to get this done? When am I going to get this done?
Okay.
So it's just really, tons of extra headspace to think and focus on things that aren't. Is the floor clean?
So, okay, well, what
did
that change for you? I mean, I'm sure that like having that extra ability to like not be as stressed for that kind of stuff, but how does that really change? I mean,
can be so much more present.
Oh, yeah.
Because like when half my brain's not going, when can I fit that in? Or will that get done? Has it been done?
That's awesome.
Then I can just like be there and know that it either has been done, will be done.
Yeah.
Or I guess won't get done, and I need to accept that.
You are actually one of the many people that I've talked about that says that exact same thing.
Oh, yeah.
When I ask a question, when I'm doing the consultation with a client, I say, okay, what would we have to do for you to be happy or tell someone that we're good?
Yeah.
And I had my last consultation, they said, do what you say you're going to do so that I don't have to think about whether or not it's going to get done. And so this is exactly what you're saying. So yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So next one. Okay. How do you balance it all? I mean, we've got family, we've got leisure, we've got focus, whether that be on jobs or anything. Like how do you balance all of that?
Not terribly well. I mean, I kind of like try to prioritize what is the most important or what I can focus on at any given time. But I think it's something I'm still working on.
Yeah, no, I think we would all have to say we work on it like on a daily basis because, I mean, I have seen gurus say there is absolutely no balance. Like if you think you're going to be successful at anything, that is the thing you're running towards 110%. And that if you think you're going to have this work-life balance, that really the life or the other is not like your focus.
Right.
You know, you can't do both. And I am coming to fully agree with that, because when I ran into, hey, I'm going to start hiring, I'm going to start like building this business, my family took the back seat.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I even as though I was wanting to like keep everything managed. No, it was you had a give and take. Whatever you ended up focusing on, it had to be taken from somewhere else. So that's kind of amazing when you were saying like having that house cleaner in your house and then having that environment gave you that extra headspace.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else like in life that you feel like has done that for you to help manage that?
I mean, I think part of it is finding, like, let me think. I think it's finding things that you trust. So like trusting that cleaning piece will be taken care of. In the same way that like trusting that other wedges of the big pie that we're all trying to balance, somebody has it and will take care of it.
Yeah. That's a huge, I mean, that.
And so like when I find good childcare, I felt the same way, like with
for sure
my older kid when I was working. And so then it was like, okay, that mental space is freed up. I hope I'm trusting the right people. And it's always worked out well.
Oh, good.
But
no, that is like probably a really profound answer. I love that you said it was just trust. I mean, that's true in so many cases. Now that I'm thinking about that, I mean, that's finding that trust in whether it's your husband, your kids to do, like for me, I've got older kids, your kids to do their chores. Or to make sure that like, hey, I went to my doctor, I am trusting that he has the information for that. I mean, all of that has that same, circle. That's, you're very wise.
Oh, I think.
So, all right. Okay, so how would you describe yourself, say, 5 years ago, and what has changed, and what do you think the biggest changes about yourself will be in 5 years from now?
So 5 years ago, lived in Chicago, had a 1-year-old, taught full-time, at a job I loved. So I taught before the twins were born. So I worked at a therapeutic day school. And it was really cool. So it's like, lived in the middle of a big city, in a tiny apartment, with all that going on. And so since then, we've added 2 more kids to the mix. Obviously, changed locations twice.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so we went Chicago to Seattle, Seattle to here.
That's a lot of change.
It's been a lot of change. And I'm like, not really, change is not my favorite thing in the world, but figured it out. But so I'd say 5 years ago, so much of my identity and everything else was wrapped up in teaching and my job, and enjoying the hustle and bustle of all of that. And I think with like 1 kid, Alice just kind of joined life and we just kept it going. And then now we're kind of in the, not trenches, but kind of like in the thick of it.
I would say, I had 4 kids in 5 years. Okay. So my oldest is 16, my youngest is 11. Okay. So when you say trenches, I am like, yes, for sure. Especially at those younger ages, because that is, I mean, you have only so much energy and emotional ability to give to those, to those kids, and then they're just needing more and more.
And more and more.
Doesn't matter like how much you give. They can still soak it up. There's still more in that sponge that can get. So I get that. Okay. All right. Well, what do you think the biggest change in the next 5 years will be for you?
So I think in 5 years, then it's like the kids are in school more, like less dependent on the home unit. Like we'll still be a family. We'll still do great things together. But I think, in 5 years, then I might get back to those pieces that are beyond the immediate family. Hopefully back to teaching or something in that vein of things.
Nice. Where, I mean, like, okay, let's say you're still in Billings. Like, what kind of teaching would you want to do? I mean, because once you're a teacher, you can, I mean, there's a huge gamut amount that you can kind of do.
So I think it'll come back to the balance of like what the family needs. Chris works a lot. And so, although he's like a super trustworthy guy that I can like pass things off to, it's like not quite the same because work takes so much of his availability.
Yep.
So anyway, I think like part-time special ed's always been my jam.
Wonderful.
So I assume in 5 years it'll probably be part-time and then figure it out from there.
No, the people that I spoke with during COVID that were special ed, that were trying to do it over the internet or trying to just be there half as often as they normally were, those people I take my hat off to. So anybody who has not only the patience but the joy in doing special ed, I mean, that is a significant, there is a significant amazement that this entire like country sits on that. Do you know what I mean? Like without that element, so much about society and those types of people that need that would, I mean, it
It's
almost
where they get the
collapse
care.
in some ways.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you for that, by the way, doing that. So, all right. Do you have a life mantra?
Just keep swimming
Just keep
at the moment.
swimming.
Just like, we got this. Maybe
Okay,
I got
now
this.
I'm gonna forget the name of the fish.
Dory.
Dory.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. What is the best advice you could give another busy family?
I think just kind of trying to figure out what the key pieces are and try to keep the focus on the key pieces. And that, you know, some things are going to fall through the cracks.
And to be okay with
And
that.
to be okay with it.
Yep.
Which is way easier said than done.
Yep.
But like,
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I 100%. If I had the time to think about it, I think I literally would come up with the exact same thing, is to be okay with those pieces that have to fall.
yeah,
Like,
you got to
'cause-
let something go.
Yeah. So, okay. What is the most difficult part about being a mom?
It's nonstop nature.
Yeah.
And that a lot of it's, you know, similar things over and over. And I think you hit on it earlier, like they always need a little more.
Yep. Yep. And for me, realizing that even though they need that more, that I can be okay with, and they will be okay with the balance that you need.
That's what I'm
Because
working.
if you don't
Yep.
like give yourself a break or give yourself that extra, you have nothing left to give,
Right.
and then they're not getting anything that they need. So yeah, that's something I learned as well with that, is just that, you know, you've got to realize that, and so that it's okay. So
Yep.
all right. Okay, on your worst day, how do you define success?
Just so we made it to the end. Like, always.
Still alive.
We're still alive.
We're doing another reference. Oh gosh. From,
I just live one movie clip to the next.
I love it.
There's a preschool mom that I follow on Instagram or something, and she really stresses that kids often only remember that last little bit. So she talks about like the popsicle bath, and on like a day when it all went wrong, just finding like that one little thing at the end to try to pull it back together.
Yep.
And
No, I think that is an amazing, I had not actually thought about that. That's the last thing of the day that they remember.
the most, at least, you know, like
Yeah.
the other pieces stay in there, but like just trying to wrap it up on a
I agree.
hopeful note.
Awesome. Okay. All right. We always like doing the last little fun thing.
Yep.
And it is, what was the last thing you Googled? So I'm going to share with you what mine was.
Yep.
Mine was actually, what's the fastest way to put a podcast, like a clip onto YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram all at once. So that was mine. All right, Mary, what was yours?
Mine was Disney Vacation.
Disney Vacation.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Trying to get out of the snow, huh?
Trying to, something, I guess. Sitting on the couch last night, trying to figure that
Nice.
something out.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed meeting Mary, and I know I sure did enjoy getting to know you better. And I hope next time you guys will join us for more interviews of people here that I come in contact constantly with, and I just find these people very interesting, and I just thought, well, maybe you'll enjoy them just as much as I do. Thank you very much.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.